Hey guys, CJ here. Wanted to say hello, talk to you guys a little bit, and give you a short video to work on at home by yourselves. Not super sure how well I'm going to do. This will be the first time that I've done any kind of stretching in a while. My back flared back up again. For those of you guys that don't know, I have lower back problems stemming from years and years of lifting heavy and doing jiu-jitsu without stretching. So I was the guy that was against stretching completely, and pay for it now. So now I'm an advocate, and here we are. Doing from home today. Hopefully I'll be doing some of these from the gym in the future. In case you didn't know, the gym's officially closed until further notice due to the coronavirus, and trying to follow as best we can the protocols set out by our local governments and suggestions from the people in the know. We feel it's pretty safe to be there now, but everybody's saying not to do it, so we're home. Can't go to the gym today because I have my daughter with me, and she's one of the more at-risk groups. She's got some respiratory issues, so since she's with me today, we're staying here. So there's that. So hopefully this goes decently, and see what happens. So this is not going to be a yoga. It's going to be some stretching, a little teeny bit of movement, not a whole lot. These are just things that help me open my back up. My problem is that I have very tight psoas, which is caused me to have wedging in my lower back, and then herniated disc, which I think is healing now, but it's still definitely bulging. So what I do is I'm always trying to open, and this is just some stuff that relieves some of the strain on my lower back and opens my hips a little bit, all right? I always start from here, kneeling. I'm not a big yogi, but I do like to just kind of sit and feel the earth or mats. That comes from jiu-jitsu, some traditional martial arts practice, and obviously yoga. Everybody kind of does this in those sports arts practices, and it's something that's always felt good to me. So obviously, since we've been doing it for about 3 minutes now, just kind of sit here and feel it. I'm talking. Some people like to sit a little wider. Even myself, sometimes I'll do a little wider. Sometimes I'm a little more closed, depending. But just sit there and feel that. Hang out, relax. Try to have better posture than me. I'm terrible. And we do this. All right. From here, I usually come forward into what's called child's pose and just kind of lay down here and relax. Let your hips open, drop. Sorry, your lower back open and your hips drop. And just let everything kind of chill. This actually relieves a lot of my lower back pain. I can feel it exactly where my back bothers me when I do this. It's actually great for me. Really try to relax and let my muscles open, my back open, joints open. And obviously when you're stretching or moving, you're supposed to be breathing. If you want to get super zen about it, you can do that. If you just want to take regular breaths, measured breaths, you can do that. I'm not a very zen person. I just try to breathe and relax. From here, I usually widen up, trying to open up my ribs and lower body. So Staying here, dropping to one shoulder, not just there, but walking my hand over, elbow high, and look up. This opens up your ribs. This actually reduces some of the injuries caused in jiu-jitsu. Get a lot of rotational rib injuries in that practice, and this will help with that. I just do those really shortly, not super huge. Come back to the center, maybe relax here for a while if you want to. Otherwise, just dive right back in. Now, I don't want to push too hard. I don't want to be uncomfortable or in pain. My herniated disc, I'm pretty positive I did to myself. My muscles were super tight. My back was locked up, and I really tried to push through it and stretch it out. I'm pretty positive that that's what caused me the actual injury. So don't push it, just relax. There's a phrase that says, a little a lot is better than a lot a little. So not a bad guideline to follow, in my opinion. All right, so another thing that's really good for my lower back is like just these super deep squats, right? I just feet flat, super deep, just kind of hanging out. It's surprisingly relieving with my lower back for me personally. If you rock back and forth a little bit, you can feel it in your hip sockets, and really is pretty solid. Something I like a lot. Sometimes I'll kind of push out, like you see every once in a while, just because it gets in my hip a little bit more. I play around in this spot a lot. I like to sit here and just hang out. It's good for you. All right. From there, sorry. Yep. So my back is trashed, and I'm not warm to do this or anything. Like I said, this is the first time I'm really stretching in a little while. So we're gonna go into just a kneeling lunge. I like to have the hands inside. Some people do it on the outside and try to stretch there. I like to have my hands inside and open up. And then I'm gonna go to a straight leg from here. Trying to have a straight back, trying to have a straight leg, trying to have all the things. Go back into my deep squat or my Asian squat again. And then do my other side. Now, some of you guys may be much better at yoga and or stretching than I am, and I'm sure my form's not perfect, so I apologize for that. As stated previously, stretching is not my thing. I actually hate it. Jiu-jitsu's my thing, but and lifting big ass heavy steel, but I've had to learn to do this so that I can do the other things I want to do. So I'm getting better as I go. It's a work in progress. Yeah, that's a struggle for me. So that really gets my psoas pretty well when I do that straight, and top of my quads hurts me a lot. All right, so we're gonna step up now to, I believe this is called the straddle. Walk my feet out kind of wide till I can feel it. Nothing crazy. I can get wider than this if I really try to push myself, but I'm not trying to. And then I'll lean back into my heels because I feel that a lot. And then I'll also come forward and kind of do a push-up and move around in this position. I like the different sensations of being on my heels and then also being forward on my toes. Walk that in a little bit. Walk my hands over. Try to get to my toes. Try to open up my back and rotate. Come back in, maybe forward and back a couple times. And then over to my other side. This is a lot for me right now, just so you know. Some of you, this may be easy. For me, this is a struggle right here. A lot of stupid tension in my back. All right, I'm gonna walk in slightly again. Try to do some Kung Fu stretches. Not sure how well I'm gonna get these done, so not too terrible. This one's gonna be worse. Yep. These are great. They're a struggle for me right now, but they're really good stretch. Wow, that was fun. All right, this is one of my favorite stretches normally. It's a struggle right now, but I'm gonna go into what's called the pigeon. I like to lock my foot down, scoop myself back so that I really rotate my hip a lot, and you come down as far as you can. That's comfortable for you. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Tend to hold my breath when I stretch. It's funny, can breathe really well when I'm doing jiu-jitsu and rolling, super comfortable and fine. But when I'm trying to stretch, because of the effort that it takes for me to do this from a kind of pain standpoint and whatnot, trying to push through things that I'm not comfortable with and don't like, I hold my breath all the time. It's terrible. This one's really bad on this side. Yep. So as I said earlier, I'm highly encourage you guys to stretch, work your hips, try not to sit all the time. I've been dealing with back issues for a couple of years now, a few years I guess. The most recent one being just terrible. I hurt myself just randomly rolling the Friday before Christmas, and stretched out, felt fine, and then had a little bit of a relapse and being tight and tried to overstretch it and really injured myself trying to push through some stretching. But it all stems from never doing it before, and man, I regret not stretching a lot. I highly recommend y'all do it. Staying here a little longer because this side sucks for me and trying to kind of loosen it up as I sit there and preach about not overstretching. I do it. Well, that's me. All right. All right, so I don't know what these are officially called. I always just call them windshield wipers when we do them in class. Lean to one side. These are really good hip openers. Trying to stay facing forward, and we're gonna switch our knees from side to side. These really good at rotating the, not a hip opener, they're really good at rotating the thigh and the hip socket. Sometimes I get a pop. Love it when my hip pops in this. Oh, that wasn't my hip, unfortunately. That was my ankle. All right. I forget what these are called, but we're gonna do them anyways. On your back, flat on your back, knees wide, grab your feet, and we're gonna pull our hips down. We're gonna pull our feet down so that our hips go towards the mat and open, right? Not here, but like open this way and pull down. Gonna start to pull our hips down to the mat as well as our lower back. Don't pull crazy, just here. And then you can kind of move these around also. Depending, open a little wider, pull in, relax. Ooh, I just got my back to crack, that was good. I'm not gonna live here forever, just gonna do it a little bit. Simple little things. All right, from here, roll over. I'm gonna do swimmers. The idea is to be on your like hip belly button area so that you're flexing your lower back. You wanna try to get your leg as high as possible. Mine don't go very high. I suck at opening. But I really concentrate on flexing the muscles in this part of my lower back, which is what I need to strengthen. Because I have some atrophy from this most recent kind of pain crisis thing I went through. So I was really guarding my back, was on bed rest for several days, supposed to be on it for weeks, but you know, I can't do that. So my muscles around my lower back have been weakened from non-use. So I have to strengthen my lower back as well as stretch it. That's my goal when I'm working out. So I'm really paying attention and flexing these muscles when I do this. So as I come up, I'm gonna alternate arm and leg and really try to flex my glute and my lower back. Got a midget spying on me. I see her. She thinks she's funny.
No, I just want to see what you're doing.
Yep. From those, you can do little cobras. You can do them on your forearms or all the way up. I'm not supposed to go all the way up right now. Again, I usually do because I'm that guy. But you can do them just on your forearms if it bothers you, or somewhere in the middle. And then the best part, right? Just lay here. And just lay here and relax and like undo any tight stuff. If anything's like kind of strained or clenching or whatever, just try to like chill. Easiest stretch of all, not stretching. So that's a little something for you. Hopefully you can move better than I do. Maybe some of you can't. One last thing I want to add is that while I'm sitting here, a lot of times I'll put my hands flat and flex them forward or backwards and flex them forward. Stretch out my forearms and wrist, right? I also have a little bit of what's called trigger finger, which is undone by stretching your hands. I've had a pretty bad elbow tendonitis, tennis elbow and whatnot from also doing jiu-jitsu, and lifters have the same problem, right? So we're always doing this and pulling forward a lot. In jiu-jitsu, lifters grab and push away so they get the opposite side, but we often don't do the other way. So I've been doing so much of this and getting small for the last 10 years and, well, 13 years, whatever it is. And prior to that, lifting big, heavy frontal plane stuff. So everything I'm trying to do now is open. So sometimes when I sit here, I'll do this. You'll often see me doing this as you talk to me. Actually, I'll sit there and just kind of like work on this part of my hands, so. All right, well, that's my morning. I'm actually gonna go answer all of your guys' emails right now. Thank you, and see you soon.